Hello, friends. My name is Lori. I am the daughter of Harriet, who is the daughter of Daisy, who is the daughter of Ether, who is the daughter of ancestors unknown. So there's many fiber festivals going on right now, and if you go to Clara Parks's website, Knitters Review, it gives you a list of literally all the fiber festivals in the world. There's some in different parts of the US. There's a bunch in the UK. There's just a lot. There's a lot of fiber festivals. So this is a really good resource here on the Knitters Review page. These are the Oregon Flock and Fiber is the local one for me. It just happened. And I didn't go to this one, but I've been going to Flock and Fiber for a long time to see the sheepies. And the Black Sheep Gathering is one of the oldest fiber festivals. It has animals, it has classes, it has marketplace, it has all the things. It's a really good show. And then there's other ones that I've never been to. Estes, it's a big one. People talk about it all the time. It's nowhere near me. It's in Colorado, I think. And then there's DFW is a pretty big one. Lots of classes, I think, at the DFW festival. Then we have, Maryland. I'm not sure if Maryland or this one, Rhinebeck, which is in New York, are the biggest ones. There's like 50,000 people that go to those festivals, so keep that in mind. But then there's this new thing, these indie untangled people doing like this new hipster kind of festival that's near Rhinebeck. They're like, well, you're at Rhinebeck anyway, so you might as well go. But it costs money, and it's basically just shopping. There's no animals, there's no learning, there's no demos. It's just shopping, which is becoming a trend now. So there's Flock in Seattle, and it's not even at a fairgrounds. There's no animals or anything. It's at like a big like convention center. So it's just shopping, and it's just this real kind of slick thing that's happening, which leads to things like these I don't know what they are. They're like retreats or something, and they're very kind of focused on consuming and just a privileged, like, come do all the expensive things, you know. There's education, they have classes or whatever, but there's no land, there's no sheep, there's no community building. It's just consuming, you know. And only wealthy people can attend, middle-class people, and people who, you know, if you're in a wheelchair, well, screw you, this is not for you. They actually say, this is not for you, which is shitty, and it costs $2,500 to go to this thing. Unlike Sincere Studios, it's a local thing here. They have BIPOC nights. They have classes that are accessible for people who can't pay. And Camp Starlight, which is part of Starlight Knitting Society, they have a scholarship for Black and brown folks, but you still got to drive and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how accessible that is. But, I mean, if you think about, like, when you do a search on the internet for, like, women quilting, it's all white women, right? And if you search on African American women, they'll show you quilts, but they won't show you the people's faces. You know, like it's this relationship of white women know things and black women don't, or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting that whole thing, but yeah, so there's not a lot. I mean, there's some black women, but they're a group of women. It's not individual. You know, black people are groups. They're not individuals. So I'm searching on the internet, looking for positive images of black and brown people doing crafting and things that show a positive light for us. Because that is real self-care. Real self-care is about survival, not consumption. So our reading today comes from Audre Lorde, The Black Unicorn, which is a set of poems that she wrote. What year was this? That's a good question. 1978. These are from 1978, but still very true. So I'm going to read to you from the poem called A Litany for Survival. Just a little bit. So she's talking about living your life in fear, or living your life as a warrior, which is kind of like a lot of her poems is about being a warrior for justice. And it ends here about the sun may not rise, our stomachs might be full, but we're afraid of indigestion. When we love, we are afraid that love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard, nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it's better to speak, remembering We were never meant to survive.